Welcome to the Energy Hour. The Energy Hour is brought to you by Quality Home Improvement, Southern California's premier residential and commercial contractor, making homes and businesses energy efficient, one building at a time.
What's going on, Rob?
How's it going, Chris?
He's in the house. I got Aaron here.
Aaron.
What's
Good
up,
morning.
Aaron?
Good morning, Aaron.
How was your weekend?
Amazing.
Yeah?
You?
Did Joanna let you do much? I think so. She probably did.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I
Did you
didn't
get
do
off the
anything.
honey-do list? No, you didn't.
I did nothing.
Oh, the
Sat
best
around.
weekend at all. That's
Right.
great.
I went to a wedding on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
and now I know my limits, I guess, again.
There you go.
Too much champagne. Woo!
Really?
Yeah, it was a great thing. Well, today, guys, we have a special guest here. We have Nada from Pacific Realty Group, and we have Joe from Empire Mortgage Solutions. And these two guys are dynamos in their industry. We want to be able to tell the public about who they are and what they do. And you have a special thing you want to say, too, Aaron, about Pacific Realty, right? You know, about Nada and stuff like that. We'll get into that a little bit. But most importantly, I think everybody needs to know, especially when Rob and I go out there and we look at solutions. We're not just looking at just what we need to do. We're looking at solutions for our financing as well.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, you got a customer and everybody's on board. They want to do solar. They want to do roofing. They want to do some really cool home improvements, right? But at the end of the day, it all boils down to, well, hey, honey, how are we going to finance this thing?
Right.
And this is why these two guys are here today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we have technology in the products and services, but really finances is a technology too.
You know,
it's our delivery model.
It's the bloodstream for the home improvement industry, believe it or not. You know, we can put up as many home improvements as we want, but if we don't have the right financing vehicle in place, guess what? We don't have much.
No.
So that's why we rely on these two guys, Joe and Nada, often for doing special things for us. And you know what, Rob? Why not, man? Look at these rates these days.
No, I know. Well, I keep telling people too, you know, solar, you know, it gets better each year a little bit, but it's marginal, right?
Marginal, right.
Same thing with a lot of the technologies out there. But the biggest technology we need is finance. We need innovative ways and affordable ways for people to actually afford it. And that's where we'll get it into more homes. So it's extremely, it is a technology for us. It's a tool.
You know, without it, we're not successful.
No, nothing
hate to say that, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, nothing
I mean,
happens.
you can have the biggest call center in the world. You can have the biggest marketing entourage that we want to do, right? I mean, we're nuts about marketing. We can't get enough, right?
Right.
I mean, think about that. If we don't have the right financing group in place, yee.
Absolutely.
So I'm hailing these two people right now.
There's
I
only so many
appreciate
cash
all that
buyers,
they do,
you know, out there.
right?
That's the thing, right?
Thanks so much for having us.
No,
thank
thank
you
you
for coming.
very, very much. It'd be like me telling Nada, if you knew I had a friend that had a loan that was 6.75%, what would you tell him right now?
Talk to our finance guy.
He's low.
Call Empire Mortgage.
Call
Solutions.
immediately because he's
Call
crazy.
Joe.
There you go.
Literally 6.75. And I keep telling Steve, what are you doing, man? Are you kidding me? It's half that. Yeah. You've got the credit. You've got the income. What the flip is wrong with you? So you'll be getting a call soon, right? Throwing away money.
Exactly.
I like that.
And that's what they do with the utilities.
And we talk about saving money.
We talk about that all the time.
He's throwing it away.
There you go.
Love it.
Don't do that.
All right. So there's some, I'm going to put you on the hot seat, guys. There are some things that
good.
our listeners want to listen to. And most importantly, you need to educate them on why we're working as a team, as a group, right? So, Joe, give me some of your background and how you got into this.
Sure. I've been in the industry 20 years. Most of my time is with the big banks. I'm not going to name any, but I got smart about 3.5 years ago.
Helping the other guy out?
And opened up my own company.
Wow.
And now I have full control, more products, able to help my clients better. Helps you sleep at night, knowing that you're doing something really well for them, you know?
So let me get this straight. You stepped outside the box.
I did.
And it was great working for the corporate world. Don't get me wrong. It's a great way to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how we learn. But what gave you the choice to just do it? I mean, where were you at when it happened?
Really want to know? Can I say? I mean, do I name those big
Absolutely.
companies?
Don't tell me you were in the toilet, because that's where I usually am when I'm thinking of my best thoughts. Sorry.
No. Usually, it was real difficult because after going through 2007 and 2008 and the housing market collapsed.
Oh, yeah. I remember
and
that.
working your way up the ladder in the corporate world, you think that's the direction you're supposed to go,
Yeah.
or at least that's what we're trained to do, or at least that's the most restrictive path, I guess you could say. And then the corporate policy or whatever you want to call it, drama, dynamics, it just didn't click. They won't change my whole role, so I decided to say, hey, you know what? I can do this better on my own, and that's exactly what I did.
Tell me something.
Sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Hello.
We have a lot of people in the renewable energy and solar industry. It's the same type of thing. They're basically with the big brands, thinking that the big box brands are the best way, and yet really what they're doing is they're spending all their money into marketing. They're depleting the funds that they could help their staff earn, and they're not putting the best product out for their customer. But they have that big brand, or you walk in and you saw them where you buy your bulk food or you bought your hammer. Right? And you see their kiosk there and you think, wow, this is the way to go. When really the smaller independents, they have more flexibility, more tools, more things available to them, like what you're talking about.
Yeah, we do. And the problem with our industry now is you get all these, everybody's marketing to you. You're getting on this, free that, rocket loans, which, we have the same thing. It's more of a technology gap that we fill rather than it's taking away the handshake. They're trying to take that handshake away from us.
Right.
We're trying to build relationships that last and give to our communities and where we live. And these companies are everywhere else. You see them advertised on big sporting events where we're trying to focus on the people that are in front of us, and give back to the schools where our kids go to school. And that's the difference between what I do now and Bank of, where I was at.
Rob,
does that remind you of somebody? No, because my father is 95 years old and still alive. And he taught my brother and I, when we went into business for ourselves, he told us this one thing. He said, look, you're going to sign a lot of contracts in your life. And that contract's to remind you of what your handshake meant. All right? If you ever forget what you promised, go back and read that piece of paper, but that did not bind you. Your word and your handshake did. And that's kind of like what we like to do here, too. I mean, if I'm telling you we're going to do something, we're going to do it. And it's that word and that it's more intimate of a relationship with your clients.
We say that a lot, don't we, Rob?
We say that every day. I mean, it's because that's what I want, right? As a consumer as well, I want to know there's a relationship with somebody. It's not sale and bail. Oh, you got my money and you're gone. And we don't do that. So it's very familiar to us, so we love hearing that.
It just resonated deep within my soul, and Rob and I talk about this, at least you've heard it several times, Aaron, that it's all about customer service. You're not going to get all the perfect customers in your life. That's going to happen. You're always going to have a stone in your shoe. But it's how you take care of that stone while it's in your shoe that means everything. You can't please everybody, but remember this: if you strive to please everybody all the time, you're going to have a great shot at it.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you mentioned
you're going to get
that.
most of them.
I like you already. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you. I appreciate
You passed the test because that's what gave you the ability to say, I want to do something that's better for the next customer that I get.
Yeah, and we do.
And you created it.
It's when
That's
it's
wonderful.
something your own, you just take more pride in it naturally. But now it's just taking it over the top and doing something even better.
I love it, man.
That's awesome.
Nada, now you're on the hot seat.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Why Pacific Realty Group? I know your husband, and what's his name again? I'm sorry?
Juan.
Juan's a marketing guru. I got to get this guy in here, man.
Gotta love him.
Juan, get ready, buddy. We're going to have a challenge. But
Focal One.
Focal One. There we go.
One.
Where's he located? Out of Rancho as well?
He's located out of Rancho, yes.
Okay.
He mainly just collaborates with corporations.
Contractors and different people like
contractors,
us?
Just
Okay.
help them boost their marketing.
He makes him become number one.
Yes.
I like that. We're going to have a great talk with him soon. So tell me about Pacific Realty Group, where you're at and how you get started.
Awesome. Well, I've joined Pacific Realty Group probably about 3 months ago, to be honest. I've been in the business for about 3 years. My background is actually in human resources. So for the past 8 years, I was a recruiter, recruiting for nurse practitioners and RNs. And what got me into real estate is really I loved helping people. So the minute that, you extend that offer and they get the job, and it was just an excitement. But real estate has always been an interest. I've actually had the blessing to own 3 properties in my lifetime. So
How old are you? You can't be more than 28. She looks so young.
You should never ask the woman. No,
that's like the wrong thing to do. I'm going to get slapped later, but anyways, I went out there. Yeah. I mean, you're in your early 20s, late 20s, right?
You know,
just say yeah.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna be actually 40 in January. So.
Stop it. You know, does she drink the? You know,
her and her daughter look like sisters.
Wow.
Wow. OMG, man, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hello. So you got this 3 houses, really?
Yeah, I've owned 3 houses.
Gosh, I'm still living in the first house that I bought. That's how ancient I am.
Hey, yours is probably paid off.
Yeah. Oh, I wish. College tuitions, hint, hint, refis. Right? Yeah, I've met a couple of you guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just really would love to bring that same experience that I did to those professionals out to these families that I've had the privilege to help in the last couple of years. And to be honest, just going back to what you were saying in terms of really just building that relationship, it starts from the beginning.
Yeah.
Really showing love is my first thing. Just show love no matter what. And I'm not here for the money.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
You know, I think the business and the money will come later. It's just really genuinely helping families.
And that's so true because it really is. The money's a byproduct.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to be the focus.
No.
Just take care of people, and you're taken care of typically in the process. Do well by them, you'll be done well by. You know, and you're working from human resources then into this. It's all kind of a natural progression.
It was perfect.
It's just helping people.
What a perfect path.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's great.
Very cool.
Looking at your website right here, of course, it's at, what is that? Shoot, I got to put my glasses on again.
It's actually Realtor Nada.
Ah,
so you
Realtor.
Can find me in all social media platforms.
Nice.
NEIDA.
NEIDA.
How many times did I mess your name up already? Like 12, 13?
Oh, I like that.
You know.
See, I'll remember. It almost sounds like a Veda,
unique.
the hair
product.
product.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. I know
the
product.
Hair product.
I've never heard that
one.
I know hair product.
Nada.
Nada.
Hello. There you go.
See,
I really like your website. Website looks really good.
Super clean.
Yeah,
looks
thanks
good.
to Foco
Super clean.
There you go.
Oh, your husband put this together?
Right. I got to make a call after this.
Yeah, we're dialing the number. Now, that looks great, man. And as you look at it, it's got home buyers, sellers, the MLS search, contact, and it's got your team there.
Yes.
And I met a couple of those guys last time I went to your office.
Absolutely.
And
there are great people.
There's Fadi. All right.
Fadi is the founder of
He's the
Pacific Realty
founder.
Group.
I didn't meet Justine.
Justine is our transaction coordinator. She's awesome. So we're actually a group of 5, and all of us.
I met Reggie.
Yes.
What
Reggie.
a cool name, right?
Reggie's awesome.
She's awesome, too. And I met Nancy. She came in there and hung out with us boring people. And we were doing our thing. And then Abe.
Abe is part of the lender side, so he works closely with Joe.
Yeah, nice. So we have Abe, which his brother is Fadi, dedicated to this team.
Oh,
so that way
they look familiar. That's right.
Yeah, they get the support that they need, and I'm available to come in and answer any technical questions that they have. So we have a nice little system going on, and we're loving it. It's just the beginning of good things.
So you're listing a bunch of houses of buyers and sellers as well?
Correct.
People come up to you and they go, hey, we want to sell our home.
Yes. I think in today's...
How does that work out? I mean, I've never sold a home before.
Oh, my gosh. Well,
pounding the ground. She's good at it.
It's mainly, again, going back to we have a lot of referrals come in, and a lot of people now here in the market, they're looking to downsize. So you have the baby boomers that are looking to downsize, and even the millennials nowadays, they're really, really stepping out. They want to own, and they're tired of renting. That's exactly.
Will you call my daughter, please? She needs to buy a house.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're hearing out on, and as we talk to people on our open houses and all that. So their parents are obviously, helping them with the down payment. But there's definitely a lot of good programs out there.
Yeah, leave that out.
Yeah.
I was spending the weekend trying to tell my brother to sell his house because it's just him.
It's gigantic, man.
Well, it's over 4,000 feet. His a smaller house, which was I think 3,600 or so square feet, just sold for $1.5 million in his area.
There you go.
It's 2
Stick
people.
That into an annuity.
The wife just had a hip replacement. My brother's not, stairs really, I don't think is in their future forever. They just need to get to a single level and cash out while the market's still
Listen up, Mike.
high.
You got to sell.
It's still high,
Go hang out with Nada. Let her sell your house. She'll take care of
it. So I'm trying to convince him.
Okay, Aaron, you've been hanging out for a long time, just kind
You've been
of
so patient.
Listening,
analyzing
patient.
everybody.
I don't know
else.
why I'm nervous. I'm not a
Why are you
nervous
nervous?
guy. I don't know. I'm sitting here thinking, what is wrong
okay,
with
so
me?
what is wrong with you? Because I got to tell
know.
you, the first time I met you, you seemed
I
like the
wouldn't shut up.
least nervous guy I've ever met in my life.
Usually you can't get me to shut
I'll
up.
second that.
I
Yeah.
don't know,
Right?
It's odd.
I
I'm
said, look at the
sitting here
confidence.
thinking, like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? Am I red? I had to turn on
No.
my phone, and
you
it's
look
like I
fine.
feel hot.
You
All right,
look fine.
thanks. I
You look
appreciate
good.
that.
Oh man.
One thing I
Okay.
wanted
Yeah.
to say is, well, of course, I got into solar and energy efficient products. First, it was by relationship. I met Chris and Curtis just in friendship, and then we started talking, and then it became, hey, what do you do? And it became about solar. And we were already cool, always talking, just talking shop, stuff like that. But anyway, so I too got into this to help people. And so when I hear you guys talking about that, it resonates with me. One thing I want to say is trying to build my business here with QHI, I thought about, well, who would be people that I could partner with and we could, work together. And it's, the hardest thing in this business is building trust. But the things you need, the essentials, as we did talk about, you need a viable product, but you also need financing.
Yeah.
You need a home. So it's pretty easy. It was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah,
So
just kind of put it all together.
yeah, so I thought about, Nada and Joe, and so I made that call. But what I want to say is I wanted to jump in, but I didn't want to be rude. This is my first time on radio.
You're doing great,
podcast.
buddy. Keep going.
Appreciate it. Now you guys won't be able to get me to shut up. Right?
We can
All right,
tell.
Aaron.
Now
All
he's
right.
too confident.
It's all good.
All right, Aaron. That was your time.
I'm going to slide his microphone down, Rob.
Right.
But
Just a little bit.
one thing I wanted to say is when they were talking about, how you generate your leads, I love this story, and I've told it to anybody who will listen to me. But we were Nada was doing a showing, and my wife, it was about a year ago, my wife and I were looking for a home where our credit wasn't that good, and that's kind of where Joe comes in. But I digress.
Welcome to America.
Right? But, point being that it was a stressful process, and we've all been there. But, credit less than perfect, stressing about finding the right house, a lot of new homes, not a lot of good used homes, and a lot of realtors out there, I'll be honest with you, they don't want to work hard. They don't. They're I don't want to use the word lazy or indolent, but
I use it all the time. Go ahead.
okay.
all right. Well, I don't want to get us in
Lazy
trouble.
realtors.
But, point being that my mother was in town. We saw this house in Fontana, and, I'll be honest with you, I'm leaving right away. Just, you get a feel. Mm-hmm. And I go back in the car, and my mom's in the car too, and we're waiting for like 20 minutes. And I go back in there, where's my wife? And Nada, my wife, just start chopping it up. And so they just got along, and they just click. And I hear the friendly chatter, girl, oh my God, really? And so I'm like, oh my God, okay, seriously?
Love it.
So we
had
left.
a lot in common.
Yeah, you guys got along. So my wife gets back in the car, and I'm like, really? Like, our time is limited today. And like, did you get anything out of that? She's like, be honest with you, I think I found my realtor. Our realtor, honey. Our realtor.
There you go.
So nonetheless, my wife says she's young, she's hungry, she just, I don't know, I think she's going to help us. And I'll be honest with you, I felt a little cheated on, because every night, instead of my wife paying attention to me, she was texting Nada, how about this house? How about this house? And the thing is, we've dealt with.
Were you texting Nada for like some tips on how to get my wife to text me?
Yeah, right. But no, I was just taking notes.
Yeah.
But the point being that Nada, and this is not an exaggeration, every single day, every single night, my wife and Nada were going back and forth. Nada didn't waste our time. She showed us she says, what do you want? Here's what we want. She didn't send us one house that we didn't want. Every single day after work, Nada had a map. She was very, just methodical. She had, okay, we're going to go see this house, this house, this house, this house. Most realtors waste your time. How about this? They're just throwing you out. You're not even interested. Yeah. She didn't waste her time. And so the point being,
sounds like speed dating.
That's what I was just going to say. I was about to say that. Yeah.
It was. We had a lot of comfort. She was hungry. She didn't waste her time. And she was a go-getter. So, when we walked into the house, that we live in now, we just knew. It was such an amazing feeling. And we said right away, like, there's just, this house has been on the market like 3 days. Yeah. Never did a showing. And we're like, dude, there's no way we're going to get this house. It was just so beautiful. And Nada and Joe made it happen. And so it was amazing. And I'll tell you, I feel the worst for Joe because literally, right? This is the first house I bought, mind you. We're at closing. It's like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. We're with the title company, and my wife's going through the documents.
What? 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah, it's crazy. And so my wife goes, whoa. No. Hold on. I got to call Joe. I don't know if that I don't know. And so she's speed dialing Joe, and she's going back and forth with Joe, just line item by line item in the title company.
It's 11 plus. And he picks up his phone to discuss this issue. Hey, Rob, does that reek service or what?
Yeah.
Hello?
Mm-hmm.
So, it was just... It was
how we are.
So you're a direct experience
of
what Nada and Joe did for your family.
Yes.
And if you were to rate them from 1 to 10, 10 being best...
10 on a bad day.
So I mean, 10 on a bad day. That's good.
I'm going to give them 20 for picking that phone up at 11 o'clock. Number one.
But you know what? We see this in our industry a lot as well. All right, there's a difference between a salesperson and someone who just cares. They love what they're doing.
Cares, and I simply just listen.
It just is, because how many times,
wow,
we have so many customers amazed at how much time we spend with them, or amazed at how informative, because we always say, right? We say, I'm not in the sales business, I'm in the education business.
We don't sell.
Right. I'm going to educate you about everything, and if an informed decision is the best decision, at the end of the day, if it all makes sense, you'll sell yourself, right? But there's a big difference, because they all tell us, well, a sales guy came out here, he found out our system was small and pretty much gave us 10 minutes and was on his way. Yeah, he didn't see a big enough commission for you. Do you know what I mean? Right. And there's those people out there in every industry. And we're just not that.
They're called the machine gun salesperson.
Absolutely. And
I'm done.
Yeah, and we care about it, because we're in an industry where, just like you guys with houses, you're helping change people's life. You're giving them a home. We're lowering their costs. We're helping the planet. We're doing a lot of things at the same time. But we just care at a different level. And you don't find that in some of the big companies, because they're all driven by insane quotas, all these things that will take even a good person and twist their arm to do things that they shouldn't be doing.
Well, that's the trap a lot of people get into right now, because they see the rocket loans.
Marketing.
And a loan isn't that easy. It's not.
No.
They make
There's
it seem
a lot
like
of paperwork, man.
Well, not only that, we want to make sure it's right, and we want to make sure we get it done before you guys go look for a house. And that stuff, all this stuff makes it seem like it's easy to get.
Use the word right. I mean,
I like the precursor of getting the money first, knowing what they qualify for, so shopping is easy.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make sense?
And you got the right finance behind you.
Man. I love that. I'm going to start using that. Thanks.
We always tell people
that's great.
That we'll be the first person to tell you if this is right for you. We'll be the first person to tell you if it's not.
Right.
And I won't sell it to you if it's not. If it's not going to save you, if it's not going to do what we say it's supposed to do for you, then I'm not going to sell it to you. Yeah. And that's how we sleep at night.
That's
right?
Awesome.
Yeah, the best part of working with Joanne and Aaron is that they didn't believe the rate that I had got them, because they were with some other lender. And they called me, and they're like, is this right? I was like, yeah, it's right.
It's great, right?
One thing that Joe...
Imagine that.
Well, one thing that Joe, assured me was, shop me. Don't just take my word on it. Wow. Shop it. And I promise you that I will meet and beat anybody. And so we had a lot of peace of mind, because one thing my wife, believe it or not, especially with my background, it's hard to believe, she is kind of the negotiator. And she told Joe, like, dude, don't do the switcheroo on me. Don't sit there and tell me it's X, Y, and Z, and then it's ABC, because I'm not going to be happy.
I like her.
So,
she's very
tough.
upfront.
She's tough.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess with her at all.
My wife's like that, too. I might be the business component of the family.
You don't happen to have a rack in your house somewhere, in an attic somewhere?
Yeah.
If you try to say something on Read that wasn't exactly what you promised, you go, come again? What was that?
Yeah.
That's not what we talked about. She'll just lay you out.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe I could do a refinance. I don't know. Interest rates, I think, are dropping. My wife and I kind of
I'll take a look at it today.
All right.
Here we go.
No, for real.
There you go.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I mean, it was a great experience, and I work with a lot of people that well, I'll put it this way: I know people that are looking for a house, and whenever they say, hey, I'm looking for a house, I always say, hey, well, when you are ready to buy, let me know. And there is nobody there isn't a person that I would know that I wouldn't refer to Nada and Joe, and that's the truth. And more than that, if I'm throwing my name and QHI's brand name out there, right. I'm not going to refer somebody.
You're not doing that lightly.
Yeah, no, not
exactly.
at all.
That's how
I take that seriously.
Yeah.
That's my name.
You know, I'm so happy you just went through this process and your experience, because that's how Rob and I and everybody else at QHI built this company. Was on the same premise. You know, when you put out concrete, you don't just pour concrete. You got to stabilize it with rebar, and you got to make sure it's the right sand compaction, and then you got to frame it really nice, and then you pour it, and then you finish it, right? Anybody can pour concrete, but if you pour it the right way, you have a strong foundation, and it sounds like you guys have went above and beyond that. I love that story, Joe. That's just 11 o'clock. Are you crazy?
It happens. If it's a customer, I put you automatically in my phone. I know that it's you when you call, and I'll pick up.
So you're serious. I love this.
That's what
you're
I
actually serious about what you do.
Yeah, I truly believe that people cross your path for a reason. So
imagine that.
And I'm gonna cherish it just like anything else.
Well, that's great. I love your zeal. Thank you. And Nada, I mean, to come from HR to jump into the fire of real estate, you know, there's a gazillion of them out there, right? But you wanted to make a difference as well.
Absolutely.
It sounds like you wanted to make a more personal experience and just say, like Aaron was experiencing, what do they give you an email with 1,000 houses and say, pick one, call me when you're done?
Yeah, that's what the other guy or gal or realtor was doing, you know. And that's not a relationship.
Mm-mm.
No, it wasn't, and that was the thing.
So that turned you off. Totally.
I wasn't. I just told my wife, you know what? I was kind of discouraged, to be
honest.
You were done
with it, pretty much.
I was, but you know,
I remember that.
It was a very seamless process. You know, Joe squared us away on the credit, Nada squared us away on the house. Everything was just right when we saw that house. I mean, and you also need somebody who's going to be aggressive to the seller, and it really is a strategy.
Yeah.
And so they never even
clue.
showed that house, and I'm telling you, this was the most beautiful house. Everybody comes into our house and they're like, "Oh my God, this is a beautiful house." It just, I don't know, it was amazing. It's a great story,
and it takes a special person. I mean, I remember when I bought my first house with my first wife, but there were 12 offers on the home, and we had other realtors, and we just found this one person. And the person said, you're going to write a letter to this family. And I go, what do you mean? She says, because they saw you. The woman could never have a family, and she loved seeing your child run into the backyard, because that backyard was made. We wrote we beat out everybody with even a lower bid, because the woman I happened to just shake hands with didn't know it was the owner, and we had a little moment together. Nice. And they were so good at that. And as soon as we bought the house, 21 offers went around the corner, because it was at that time in Pasadena where everything was hopping from one to the other. But the personal care, you know, and the thoughtfulness, both, you know, from her and our realtor, and even with the owner, you know, explaining that, it makes the world a difference.
There's that relationship word again.
It's that relationship, you know. It's not a number. You know, we don't have numbers here. We have people.
And I do want to say that I think Nada shot under, it was almost $40,000 from listing. Yep. And it wasn't just a seamless, they didn't just grab it.
It was overpriced.
It was overpriced. And she saw
so
that.
you fixed that.
Saw that.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to get this at value.
She pulls out her magic wand and goes, boom.
Nice.
Yeah, we're ready to write a check. And she's like, whoa, hold on. Hold on. Yeah, so no, it was good. Part. And the inspection process wasn't without event. So we had to do, you know, that in itself. And it wasn't, you know, they had to go back and we had to let them know you got to do X, Y, and Z. So,
yeah,
I mean,
it was, do that too.
It was cool. It was just, it's a good little story that we like to share. But hopefully people that are listening, if they need a home, if they need a loan. And so Joe's going to get back to me on that refinance.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah. What I like is hearing you guys talk. It's very much how Chris
I dig it, man.
It's how we work.
Yeah.
You know, everything's about relationships. Everything's about, you know, most of my work comes from referrals.
Yeah, I would say right now
80% is
80%. That's a low one, man.
Yeah, we'll have just.
Awesome.
Yeah,
you're about a 90%er.
Yeah, I mean, you go in there and if you do right by people, they recognize that. And to us, of course, the referral is the greatest compliment, right?
Oh, yeah.
We trusted you. You did such a great job. We still have an individual just a couple days ago send us pictures of he just washed his panels. He's so proud. He wants us to go take photos, and he sends us his bills every month. They're still negative. and we keep those relationships. We didn't make the sale, and then you can't find the sale.
That was Jonathan in Hidden Hills, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go up and take some photos and spend a little time with him.
We got to bring him a check too.
He did refer, so
right?
he's going to get a nice check.
He's one of our nice referral partners now.
Yeah,
Nice.
And he understands, and he hasn't even. I mean, of course, he paid cash for his system.
I am getting a lot of cash deals for some reason, but we'll be with you for financing when I've got them.
You guys do like new real estate financing, like home improvements and room additions, and
there are programs like that.
Okay,
we do them all the time. They're not the.
You can handle those then.
We can handle.
Oh, okay.
203Ks. There's limited and full, which means a full remodel. You can take it down to the foundation.
So it could be cool if we, some people were up for a good refi or whatever, and can incorporate some of the cost of this.
Can we talk about those for a minute?
Yeah.
Of course.
What kind of loans do you offer? May I ask?
So if they already own the house, the easiest thing to do is just a typical refinance, cash out.
Right. Why would somebody want to do that?
To improve their property. Improving property with square footage or something that they want in the backyard, like a pool.
Bad windows or
bad
something.
windows.
Roofs leaking.
You can do all that stuff.
How about solar, Chris? New roof.
That's a given, right?
Solar is a given. I
Energy
personally
saver.
purchased mine as well.
Okay.
I choose to purchase. Stay away from the PACE Hero loans because those things have high rates and you have to pay them off now.
You can't talk bad about those guys. They're my friends.
They're your friends,
Man.
but I could be your friend even better.
We're going to have to talk to you later about that.
Well, no. So I'm always looking for alternatives because sometimes that ends up being, there's a lot of tools in our toolbox. Financially as well. But anything that could be better for our customer is something we're definitely looking into. We want to know that all the time.
There's a plethora of financing opportunities, residentially and commercially speaking. Believe it or not, now that this marijuana thing is kind of in the mix of things, these cannabis companies in Northern California that are buying multi-million-dollar buildings, they got to have the money to get it. They got to have the money to fix the roof, put the solar on it. So can they come to you as well?
The commercial loans, they can, although I'd prefer to get them somewhere else, to be honest with you.
But you'll put them in the right direction.
I will always put them in the right direction. The commercial loans, it takes a lot of time for those ones, and especially if you're doing the huge buildings like that, I'm more of a
they usually walk up with a briefcase and it's full of money. I'm just wow,
they can't get any loans from the federal government because it's not legal yet. So
not
as soon
yet.
As soon as it is,
the House has passed legalization.
The ganjapreneur.com.
So now if we just need the Senate to go ahead and pass it, which that could be a long draw. Yeah. But if they pass it, they will be able to bank federally in any bank in the country.
Yeah, that would be good.
It's long draw. And the bottom line is, they're going to have to do it eventually because if you've legalized it, then you also have to say, why am I not taxing it? I want proof of funds. Put it in the bank. Nothing better than that. I mean, how do you prove what's in a briefcase or a duffel bag? These cash businesses will turn over, but it's going to be a huge wealth point in the country.
So you're going to get these restaurants that are having boutique shops or smoke shops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Business is about to change.
Yep.
Right? So, Nada.
For the good.
So, real estate, right?
More houses to sell.
You've got Reggie. You've got everybody in that office. And you're tied into all these really good people. Yep. So, the process, something comes into the office. And, of course, you're using Keller Williams. Can I say that word? It's like it's too late now. So, anyways.
Yeah, Chris, you're not supposed to say, can I say this after you've said it?
Pacific Realty Group.
Pacific Realty Group. But anyways, that being said, it comes to you and you kind of facilitate the path that they're supposed to take. Because not everybody really knows that stuff. Think about it. If I was going to sell something, I'd think of, Penny Saver doesn't exist anymore, does it, Rob?
I don't know.
No. I'd be so lost. I'd be like a sheep.
I have not heard that in a long time.
That's like 50.
Yeah.
I didn't age myself.
Do they still make those penny savers?
No. I think, anyways, Craigslist took over.
Oh, there you go.
Well, yeah, like I said, we're a group of 5, so our hub is in Rancho Cucamonga, but we definitely have a very diverse reach from LA to the IE.
Oh, I didn't know you go that far.
On average, we do about 5 to 7 million in sales on a monthly basis. I would
Seriously?
say.
Wow. That's a lot of property.
It is. We're also Solar Premier agents. So for those people that say, hey, nowadays you can find a home, literally you have your Redfin, your Zillow, right? And we also do the open houses and all that. But I think, like I said, it goes back to most of our business is referral based, and that's what we would like to continue to grow. Yeah.
I don't go to Redfin or Zillow.
No?
I just go there to check properties.
Okay, there you go.
No, like if somebody, for instance, I'm getting a solar, consultation or something, I go there just to see the home. I'm pulling it up on my other software where I'm going to design as well. But it's a nice look into the home and see what they have and what the neighborhood looks like. Because you get that nice aerial satellite and see how many people were smart enough to do solar or not.
So when I'm ready to sell my parents' house, I'm coming to you.
There you go.
Thank
when
you.
I'm ready to sell my house in Fontucky,
or finance,
I'm going to let Nada take care of that, and I'm going to take them all together, and I'm going to say, Joe, what can I do with this money? Right?
You're self-employed, so it takes somebody like myself to do your loan. And the right way.
You understand it, right?
Oh,
you and I are in the same boat. That's where we're going, baby.
I'll make your life easier.
And then you're going to find us the final resting place where we're going to hang out and cut our roots, I guess. I'm just going to buy this building. Me and Aaron were talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's just buy this building.
I'll write a check.
Yeah. So we talked about the introduction, the professional relationships, which is very important, and that's why we're networking today. And this is why we're going to recommend Joe and Nada to all of our customers
keep
that come
in mind,
through.
too, if you have customers ever, we'll refer, obviously to you because of who you are and the great work
Yeah, we
you've
can
done.
write checks, too,
Yeah.
There you go.
We know how to do that.
But also, there's some people that might want to fix the home up a little bit or do some remodeling before they sell the house, or they get the house and they want some work done, or they're going to add that solar after they got the house because it wasn't there. We can always go ahead and handle that for you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
And I think one of the questions that I always get from buyers is, especially when we go and see a home with a solar or even without, and it's a 5 or 6 bedroom home, they're already thinking, oh my gosh, how much is my monthly payment for electricity and all that? So
They really think of that?
Absolutely.
Really?
And so one of their questions is, well, how do I get solar, or what are really the benefits of solar? So maybe one of you guys can share that a little bit.
Well, something too, because I come from commercial architecture. I've done courthouses and big
23
projects.
years, baby.
And so, you've probably seen at least my courthouse near the LAX airport.
That's right. It's got
Rob's
names on
it. But no, one of the big things the government always talks about is, it's not just the cost of the building. It's the cost of ownership, operation, and things like that. So really the cost of the house isn't just the mortgage, right? It's electricity, it's water, it's trash, it's insurances, it's everything. That's the whole cost of ownership. And solar just simply can lower that. I mean, and the very worst case scenario, typically, you can own it for the same price you're renting it from Edison or PG&E or Pasadena Water and Power, right? I mean, that's kind of the worst.
Absolutely.
So if you could own for the same price as you're renting and not have that 7% kick up every year that they try to hike you on, and Edison's going to give you an extra sweet hike in 2021. So make sure you're reading your small little white paper that comes in. You probably throw out of your bill. That one's describing just how much they're going up. Yeah. Yeah, for most people, even on D-Care, it's going up 115, and regular people, domestic plans are going up 170 without the increase. That's just like here. That's going up every year on everyone. But it's that cost of operation. So a lot of times what we can just do is, look, if we can cut your bill down by 30, 40% and you can own it, it lowers your bill, right? It lowers the ownership of your house. And why not? Get yourself out of that treadmill of just paying the same old bill every year and being at their mercy. Become your own utility.
I like where Nada started out with, where people are asking actually those questions.
Yeah.
I would have never fathomed that ever. Yeah. I'm just an old-fashioned solar guy that does home improvements, right?
Right.
And then now people are actually asking those questions. Now, you guys are familiar with the HERS rating system, right? Have you heard of it?
I've heard of
HERS, Home Energy Rating System.
Oh, yes. Now I know.
Now these home guys are going out to these houses and doing inspections, and they're actually saying, can or can't you buy or sell this house based on the current condition?
Right.
So that's where home improvement can be quite significant.
Chris has been talking about this for quite a while.
I don't know, 10 years?
And there's not a lot of people that have been so much addressing it. We've got a house being built right now that's almost 11,000 square feet that we'll do solar for. And the first thing when we looked at the plans, and this house is in Arcadia, California, in a big 6-inch square stamped in red on every page, HERS required. Right? They're not building the house without HERS. And if it's built after January 1, right, it has to have solar on it anyway.
Correct.
All new homes are going to have that.
Homes, yes.
But the problem with that is most of them are doing really small systems that amount to, oh, good, honey, we can run our laundry. But you're not going to get your AC off of it. You're not going to. So you want a properly sized system.
You're hoping that she doesn't have to run her laundry at 3 a.m. Right, Rob?
Exactly. It's like,
and that's what they're doing. With
live good. And that's the thing. I always say, look, I can save you a lot of money, or I can turn your house into an iceberg. If you want it to just run your AC 24 hours a day.
She can take those solar systems or any other home improvement while she's speaking to the customer and say, you know what? What do you think the cost of that is? Let's just wrap that up into one loan. Right? And so they never have to worry about that again. Isn't that the best way to do it?
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Or you can finance it, like you guys were saying. A good example, 2 years ago, I went to solar. It took me 6 months to make a decision.
Really?
Because I shopped around different companies, and,
you
a few of them didn't tell me the truth, so I figured it out.
Yeah. And, how many times have you heard that one, Rob?
Every time.
Yeah, and I didn't realize I can get upgraded solar panels for $10 more a month compared to the other guys that you see everywhere. And I was
that's a good one, huh, Rob?
I was like, unbelievable.
Upgraded solar panels for $10 a month?
We just came across a story where a big brand, and if I mentioned the name, you would clearly know it, was offering panels to somebody that were really great about 6, 7, 8 years ago. They would have been cutting edge, but they're selling them out of a big store, out of a kiosk that you shop near, and it's like they're selling them at tier A price. They're selling them at cutting edge technology price. And again, that's our talk about, because you're paying for their marketing.
Those are 10-year-old panels.
So we don't market. What we do is we take every bit of your money and we put it into what goes on your roof. And that's why we deal with companies like Solaria and SMA that you see on the wall, because it is cutting edge. It's what's out there. It's not only current today. It's actually like Solaria's.
They're going to be here for a very long time.
Solaria's a few years ahead of everybody right now, at least. And so, but that's really, really important. But a lot of people, they see that big name and it gives them this instant credibility, but they're not always doing what's right by people. And they've got people selling because they're stressed with commissions and they're selling deals they shouldn't be selling.
And they don't know what they're doing.
And they don't know what they're doing. I witnessed myself training lasts between 5 to 10 working days in a company, and they send them out into your home like they're a professional. God, can you imagine that? We wasted 20 years, Chris, 30 years.
That's crazy.
Learning all this stuff.
Thank God you guys got to take tests like we do now.
Yeah. I have to be licensed, insurance, all that stuff. And that's the difference between me and a loan officer. You go to your local bank.
Exactly.
So hang on a second here.
Yeah.
So the local bank has these guys that they hire, and they set them in these cubicles. They don't have the education they're supposed to?
They say they do, because they put us through a lot of training and stuff that you just skip through online. At, the internal,
online training.
Yeah, online training.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. And I call those big companies a training ground. Because don't get me wrong, I got a great training, but I was also one of the ones that took my training to the next level.
Yeah.
The others just do what they can, and it is what it is.
They keep drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, most of them just think of it as a check. I don't think of it as a check. Money takes care of itself.
What's really important about that,
Nicely said.
No, but what's really important about that is it separates the people from, the reason he does so well and offers so much more for the client is because he has that intellectual curiosity. He wants to do more. He wants to learn more. He wants to be better than the average. So who do you want helping you sell your home? Or who do you want doing your solar?
The average Joe?
Who do you want? No, seriously. Who do you want? You want the average guy out there, or the average woman who's going home and they grab their paycheck? Or you want the person like, my wife looks at me and she goes, why are you stressed about that job? I said, because this person's talking to someone else, and I know that company, and they take advantage of people left and right. I find someone, I just want to take care of them. I want to just say, I know you're safe with me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you get that too, right? Yeah. And then when they come, we're just like, that's fantastic, because I know what we're going to do for them. And, that's really important. But the people that just kind of stay in those corporate gigs, it's fine, but they don't have that ambition to do more. And I want someone that has that when they're working for me.
Neither to care, right? So.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That was a great little statement there.
Yeah.
How do you get more than that? I mean, what's better than that? Hello.
No, that's who you want working with you, right?
Yeah. I mean, take Aaron here for example. Him and Joanna, they got the right experience, and everything was fine. Now he's consulting Joe for a refi.
Well,
I hear he's going to get a good deal.
You're taking advantage of everything, which is great.
One thing I want to say is that there is a plethora of new homes that are out there, and of course they all have solar panels, and that was a big thing actually for us.
Right.
But the problem is that I'm so glad that I didn't buy one of those new homes with ineffectual panels. So, working here, obviously I have an education in solar and how it works. So, we bought the perfect house to put solar on, and we're getting the right panels instead of buying an ineffectual system and spending who knows how much. So, I mean, you buy a new house, forget the Mellaroo and all the taxes. You're buying horrible, solar panels on there that don't really do the job that we could do.
Even the companies that, for instance, KB Homes, I'll mention the name, but with a builder, there were some developments that they did with SunPower, which, great panel. You can't wrong them for that.
Nope.
But the problem is they're putting 8 panels on the house. Well, it's a 3,800 square foot home.
Well, you know why they're doing that, right, Rob?
They're doing it to kind of like to basically show, hey, we're an efficient.
They're doing
home.
what the standard requires.
Exactly.
The problem is the average house needs a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So
it's
don't,
not reality.
Yeah.
So all those homes though that you see that have those 8 panels or whatever, and if they've had them for let's say a year
Title
or more,
20,
they've
Title
already got
24.
their true up from their utility, and they found out those 8 panels were not enough. So every one of those homes should be approached and said, "Would you like to complete your system?"
Yeah,
there'll be smaller systems, maybe 8, 10 panel systems or whatever like that. But they've already possibly bought into the idea that, hey, solar does work. Well, how would you like it to work the rest of the way? And let's get rid of your utility outside of that connection fee.
At the end of the day, with me, it's all about cutting out unnecessary utilities. It's all about lowering your outgo of money. It's hard enough being a business owner, as Joe already knows, and Nate and everybody else. It's bad enough dealing with California and all these crazy taxes and stuff that we got to go through. Ask Rob. I'm sitting there with a jump rope in my hand, going through hoops and hoops of stuff as I'm going down the hallway to get on the Jumbotron. Right. It's like, holy crap, Batman, I just dodged that bullet.
For me, I think, especially for any family, anyone as a homeowner, or people coming into retirement where they're going to have fixed incomes, there's one word that always stands out to me that I want. It's called predictability. All right, if you got a mortgage and you've done that loan, and I know what my loan is for the next X amount of years, 15 or a 30-year loan or whatever, that's fine. I don't know what my utility is. They can raise me anything they want whenever they want, but I can fix that. All right, I can take care of that for somebody, or I can have you own it, and that's what I don't like, because at the end of the day, when we're dealing with our family and our kids and things like that, fixed costs are wonderful. Right. And also for businesses, commercial businesses, you're trying to look at your profit and your futures and your P&Ls and stuff like that. How would you like to know all your costs that could be predictable, make them predictable, right? Why would you leave something out there that is volatile? I don't like volatile.
Nope.
No one should.
No. So, I mean, I
Shouldn't
know what my
tolerate
mortgage
it
is. Why can't I know what everything else is? And you can.
Now, for your services, do you do they have to own the solar, or can they lease it?
They can lease. So here's what we prefer. We prefer people to own, and what I call it is bad, better, best.
Okay.
Bad for most people is staying with the utility, because again, you're up for that increase every year. There's no stability there. Best is ownership, and in most cases, for the same price you're renting it from your utility, because there's no ROI on renting, right?
Correct.
Okay, so it at least you can own for at least the same price, and typically for less. And you've got tax incentives. The 30% is going to 26 though in January. So I mean, this is a great crush for everybody who wants to jump in. Do it now. But better is like a PPA, which is called a purchase power agreement, and that might work for some people that they're not going to take advantage of the 30% tax incentive. They don't have that liability to do so, but they also don't want to sit there with the utility and get hit for 6 to 7% every year. So it might be there is something better, but if we can make the finance work, like talk with Joe and stuff, and get the finance right, just own it.
Well, one thing I want to
own.
Well, one thing I
own your power, right? Just own your power. You bought your house. Why would you rent your energy?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I only pay $250 a month. Through July through October, I was paying like $600-700 a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wait a second here. Are you kidding me?
No, my wife runs the AC 24/7.
Oh, she's the one.
I would have put my kids and my wife in a backyard under a tent. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I swear.
That's crazy.
And what's mind-boggling is I purchased them.
Are you with Edison by chance?
Yeah, and I get a rebate. I don't pay anything.
Yeah.
Well, the crazy thing is before I did my research and was going to get the lower standard instead of the upgraded panels.
Right.
I got they told me I needed 33 panels or something like that, where the other guy, which I was getting the less
panels
and the less whatever
wattage, right?
less degradation.
Yeah,
also.
so I got the better panels for $10 more, and then the
Good for you,
$13,000 tax refund. We actually used that to redo our backyard patio instead of giving it back. So
there you go.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Increase the value. You increase the value of the home right there. Yeah.
We talk about the tax credit all the time, right?
Yeah.
And you already knew that was a credit against taxes owed.
Yeah.
Now, as you and I know, we pay a lot of those.
Yep.
So what you didn't have to pay the government, you actually took back as an incentive, and then stuffed that in your backyard. That's beautiful.
Well,
man.
I could have been paying $190 opposed to $250, but
Right.
like $70 difference. Let's do something we really want to do.
in
It's
the
like
backyard.
financing
That's
it, and-
smart, man.
Something he's really smart on as well.
Yeah, I love that.
Is that he noticed there's a difference between panels, because what we always say is this: not all solar is created equal, and not all providers are created equal. For instance, the one person that came out 22 panels with that lower quality big brand, I can give him 15 panels. It'll be a more expensive panel, but I'm using less and I'm producing more power. So for them, that customer it costs them less money to do a better panel that produces more. But the only challenge we have in the industry is getting that education across. You did a lot of due diligence.
I'm glad you waited.
research. 6
Education
months.
is key.
And let me tell you,
Yeah.
though, because there are panels that, just imagine this, if a panel decreases in 1 or 2% a year, you've lost 10, 20% in a decade. If your panel decreases at 0.4% or 0.2% a year, what's the difference?
Big.
It's a huge difference. So you got to remember, whenever your panel degrades, if you're still using that amount of energy, you're going to buy it from somebody. And if your panel's not producing it, you're going back to
You're
your
going to
utility.
go back to the utility.
We don't want you going back to your
That's
utility.
right.
We're breaking you away from them. Stay away from them. So we designed really conservatively to do what basically you did. You did a really good job of being willing to pay a little bit more, and it's going to last you a lot
That's
longer.
a great story.
No,
man.
and that's what we try to get.
And he's an actual customer
Yeah.
of the industry.
And
which
we
is
try to
amazing.
that's our biggest thing we try to tell.
It's like Aaron. He's an actual customer
There
of
you go.
purchasing and getting the
Hands
right
are up,
loan and
guys.
getting the right house.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Absolutely.
magic?
Absolutely.
That's why we do this, right?
And that's why we also, I think, we like small groups, and we work very close. Like we talk about our relationship today with our customers.
Yeah.
Our relationship with people like you is the same thing. We want small groups of really talented people that care, because when we send you out to our customers or vice versa, we know it's being taken care of because all of our names are on it. Like I tell Chris,
exactly.
they're not calling QHI, they're calling me.
Right.
All right. Then if I don't handle something, they'll call Chris or QHI. But my reputation,
There's my joke rope again.
Yeah, my integrity's on the line first. They got my private cell phone number. I don't have a business one. They're calling me. And
You got a point.
And that's what's really important, that we have small groups that really do great stuff.
Wow, this was great, man. I love it.
Awesome.
The synergy in this room today, folks. If you can see it, it's like electrifying. It's glowing and
That's very
stuff
good.
like that. Well, I can't
It's
thank
so
you guys
fun.
enough, man. You guys did a great job. You want to say something else? You had another thought. Come on, spit it out.
She's loving this.
She's
I'm
loving
loving
it
it.
for sure.
I'm comfortable. Let's
Your
start
husband
over
and I,
again.
All right.
your
All right,
husband
topic
and I,
number 2.
your husband and I are going to have some fun. Trust me.
Yes, for
You
sure.
may not be able to sleep for another month or so
There you
because
go.
he's
Stay
thinking
tuned,
about it all
guys,
the
for
time.
that next podcast
Absolutely.
coming up.
Well, you know where we are. Just come out. We'll do another one.
Exactly.
That was
I want to
just fun.
thank you guys for hanging out today and really putting it to the customers out there. And this is going to go through our social media networks. If you want to take that link and put it through your social media networks, that's how this works out, is networking. This is the best form of marketing on the planet today, and you can't get that anywhere else. I mean, Rob, anybody can hire an airplane and throw flyers outside the door, right?
Well, yeah. And I mean, and
How many times have you wasted money doing that?
Yep.
First time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you, right? So you get focused with your marketing, and you do it specifically, and you network. Networking, it can never be replaced.
Well, and the huge thing that we're
know.
trying to do with the Energy Hour and people we have on board, we're just trying to give information out there.
Yeah.
Again, informed decisions are the best. So we're just trying to give a lot of information. Anybody out there listening to this, if there's a topic you want us to touch on, let us know. We've had people request. Right? We just did one the other day because somebody was requesting information.
Off LinkedIn.
Off LinkedIn. That's fine. We just
Love
want to
LinkedIn.
Yeah, we just want to give information out there so you guys are armed with all the material you need to make really good decisions in your life and save.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
That is. It's a good
Yep.
one.
So, hey,
Information's
Rob,
out
thanks
there.
for hanging out with us. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Happy Monday.
We get to have some of Nada's really cool treats before she leaves.
All right.
Aaron, thanks again. I really appreciate
for
the
having me.
testimony you gave Nada and
Absolutely.
everything that happened with the mortgage and your financing part. And I'm so happy you found the right person.
Oh,
that,
me too.
you know,
So is my wife.
I mean, you got through the garbage. You cut out the person. You didn't really focus on what your needs were, and they ended up in your lap.
Just like solar in real estate and lending, there's a lot of bad guys out there. So we're the good guys, all of us. So yeah, I definitely throw
Should we
it
get
out
like
there.
superhero uniforms or something?
Capes?
Yeah, little capes, right? This is perfect. Thanks, Aaron, for hanging out. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Nada, you're a breath of fresh air. Thank you for bringing. She doesn't look 40, Rob.
Thank you.
I'm gonna.
Thank you guys
Can I
for
see?
listening.
Can I see your driver's license before you leave?
I don't know. I'm
thank
I'm
you.
63 though. I look pretty good for 63.
He's not a day over
I'm
49.
I'm
I
not
don't
that
know.
far off of it.
Any thoughts of buying or selling, guys, call me.
Yeah,
626-215-5673.
Pacific Realty Group.
What,
Let's
say
get
that,
them
hold
on.
Say that number again.
626-215-5673.
You got it.
Thank you.
And
for
it's
listening.
under resources at QHIINC.com. You just click on Friends of QHI. Her website is there. And we're going to have to put yours up too, Joe.
Sounds great.
Thanks for bringing what you do. I mean, I had no clue on what your capabilities were. And 11 o'clock? That right there, that's the golden star for the day.
Don't publish
man.
that too much.
Yeah.
It's like when I tell my customers I'm available 7 days a week, my wife's like, shh. Yeah, she knows I am already.
I get those eyes.
Exactly.
Too. My wife's like,
Exactly. Really?
That's perfect. So you
Yeah.
can see them on the internet, everybody. Just go to QHIINC.com/resources. And no, it's actually Friends of QHI.
Friends of QHI, sorry.
Yeah, go to resources, scroll down to that, click on it, and then you'll see their websites. And I'll definitely going to put yours up later, Joe.
Awesome.
Thanks
Sounds
again
good.
for your time.
Yeah, thanks,
I
everyone.
appreciate everybody.
Thanks for having
Rob,
us. Thanks for having
Aaron,
us.
Nada, Joe. We'll see you soon, okay?
Make it a
Take
great
care.
day, guys.
Yes,
care out
ma'am.
there.
Take care.
The Energy Hour was brought to you by
Capture the joyful magic of the holiday season with Virtual Santa. Virtual Santa is a high-definition projection effect that walks, waves, laughs, eats cookies, and puts presents under the tree. From outside, it's so real, you swear Santa's in your house. Virtual Santa, originally seen on ABC's The Great Christmas Light Fight. You can choose from traditional Virtual Santa or new African American Santa. Holiday effects include Virtual Santa, Mrs. Claus, Santa's Workshop with Christmas elves, and so much more. Buy one effect or a bundle. Available in HD DVD, digital download, or USB flash drive. Also available in LED projection bundles. For a winning Christmas display that will delight your neighbors young and old, visit us at virtualsanta.com and become known as the house where Santa lives. Virtual Santa, where holiday spirit begins.
Got latest electric bill? Is it less than last month or last year? Probably not. But if you had a solar system from QHI, it would be. Your electric meter could be running backwards. Right now, get a QHI system installed for no money down, no out-of-pocket expenses. Get an immediate savings on your electric bill. Call 909-609-5437. Solar is all they do. Call QHI 909-609-5437.
You spend to ensure good health $100, $1,000, $1 million? For less than $100, you can get a 2-month supply of a VHE Superfood, the revolutionary new health supplement packed with everything you need to look great, feel great, and have renewed energy. Call 618-800-6670. A VHE Superfood, beyond organic. Go to realhealthforyou.com. Total Life Energy in powder, pill, or elixir. Your health. What's it worth to you? Call 618-800-6670 now.
Beauty, efficiency, and power. The only product we know in the solar industry is Solaria. Maximum power. For nearly 25 years, Solaria has set the pace for solar panel performance, efficiency, reliability, quality, and design. Maximum power. Solaria continues to leverage its patented technology, engineering expertise, and sophisticated automation into creating one of the most attractive, energy-efficient solar panels available on the market today. Maximum power. What really defines home solar? How about Solaria? Quality you can trust for your home or business. Solaria is the new benchmark for solar energy. Where do you get this panel for your home or business? Go to QHIINC.com. That's QHIINC.com/Solaria. SOLARIA.
Thank you for listening to The Energy Hour. Visit them on the internet by going to QHIINC.com/TEO. That's QHIINC.com/TEO.